How's it going, everybody? So today I'm just going to do a video on a zoanthid fragging. Came across a mini colony. It's a pretty substantial colony, actually. I think it's got about 30 or so heads. It's a pink mohawk zoa. So I mean, it's a pretty valuable zoanthid. I know some people have been able to sell the polyps for up to 150 rand per polyp. Which is it's substantial. If you're somewhere else, you're gonna have to convert that currency for yourself. South African rands. So gonna cut up a little frag that I've got here today. So what I'm gonna be doing is I've got my little towel that I'm gonna put the zoa on, just so I don't end up getting any palitoxins on my desk. I've got my little pair of tweezers that I'm going to use to transfer the zoa to the little rock that I'm going to be putting it onto. Obviously super glue, and then a fresh, I don't know if you can see that, a fresh scalpel blade that I'll be using here. Obviously in terms of safety, you really don't want to get any palitoxins in your eyes or in your mouth or anything like that. So in terms of safety, lucky it's COVID. So I'm just going to be wearing like, this is my newer mask. Yeah, I'm just going to be wearing a mask, and hopefully I'm not going to get any of it on my hands, because I will be using, like I said, the tweezers. But yeah, I'm going to make a conscious effort not to get my face too close in there. Really don't want any of that stuff going in my eyes. That'll suck. So without further ado, I'm going to take the zoa colony out. Neat little trick. You can use a piece of glass on top of your tank to stop, I'd say, probably over 80% of the evaporation that could happen due to an open top tank. Just saves topping off the auto top off reservoirs often. Yeah, so here's the colony. Pretty big colony. I've got a few busy growing off on the sides and on the bottom, and that's what I'm going to be aiming to take off, just so that I have another small colony that I can either trade or sell, or something along those lines. Let me just get it to close up a little bit more, just because I don't want these guys to get damaged while I'm cutting. Cool. So I've now got my zoanthid colony in front of me, and I'm just going to look for an ideal position to cut one of these guys off. Thinking there's a couple of them, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a couple of them right along the edge that are almost tucking underneath, and that's what I'm going to be trying to cut off today. I am just nervous as well. Palitoxins are no joke. There have been reports of people getting quite sick from them. Sorry, now I've been quiet now for a couple minutes. I did manage to just get my little zoa loose here. Cool, so I've actually got him sitting on top of my pair of tweezers. So to now prep to get him ready, I'm going to take my super glue. If I could just get it open, there we go. And really, I'm going to be very sparing. I don't want to suffocate the zoa by actually getting super glue on top of it. So really just putting a small little dab of super glue on here. I'm then going to transfer him onto my little frag plug. And right there, I've now got a single head of mohawk. I'm probably going to add maybe one more. Just for the sake of whoever's going to get this. I know they'll appreciate an extra little head of Zoa. So now the next one that I'm going to be going for is this one on the side over here. Second one came off a lot easier. Cool, so I'm going to get this colony back in the water, just because they have already been out for a couple of minutes. Okay, and then next, let me quickly close up the super glue. I am going to place these guys in a low flow area. These new ones that I've just put onto this frag plug, I'm going to place them in a low flow area, just so that they have time to properly attach to this little frag plug. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and put them on the sand bed somewhere. Cool. And that is how you frag zoanthids. It's basic, it's pretty easy. Once you've got your zoas in a position that it's easy to cut them without destroying them. So what you don't want to do is you want to cut through them and cut through them and cut through them until there's nothing really left. You almost want to still have that little, if anybody's, I mean, I'm assuming anybody's watching this has had zoanthids before. When you close up zoas, or when zoas are closed up, they make almost like a little ball. And as long as you can still see that that mouth disc is formed correctly and that you're cutting right down at the base of it, sorry, I can take my mask off now, you shouldn't have any issues with placing your Zoa onto that frag plug. Important little tip, this now is going to have a bunch of palithotoxin on it, so don't touch your tip of your razor blade. Wash it off with some soap and afterwards wash your hands. I'm going to go and wash my hands probably right up until about here now, just so I can make sure that there's nothing on it that I could potentially put into my eyes or my mouth. But yeah, it's very simple. As you just saw, you just cut it off nice and gently, take it and then place it with obviously the oral disc still facing upwards onto a very small dab of super glue, and put it in the low flow area of your tank afterwards, and that will allow you to it'll allow the Zoas to then attach to your frag plug, which is obviously important. You don't just want a random Zoa, wow, floating around your tank. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, I hope this has been informative, and I hope you guys can pick up a skill or two from doing this. Zoas are a really easy coral to propagate, and also a very easy coral to make some money off of. So if you come across a little bargain like I did, where you can find a 30 head mini colony of mohawks for a decent price, I got them at a very decent price, you could really make some big money off of this, or at least a return of investment, and then still have a small enough colony that you can then continue growing. So yeah, I hope this has been informative, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.